Everyone thinks MrBeast just throws cash at strangers, right? And that the algorithm just, well, obeyed. But here's the thing. The real reason he blasted past 100 million subscribers isn't the money. It's the moment he stopped paying rent on a single mom's house and started paying rent on the entire internet's attention. He cracked a code, a kind of digital alchemy where generosity became the ultimate growth hack. You see, it's not about the dollar amount. It's about the moment he creates with that dollar. Stick around because the 5 turning points you're about to hear aren't just stories. They're the exact receipts for how philanthropy became a growth engine bigger than any stunt he ever filmed. Imagine this. A 13-year-old kid named Jimmy Donaldson, sitting hunched over a Toshiba laptop that sounded less like a computer and more like a jet engine taking off. His microphone? A $20 headset. His ambition? Limitless. He started uploading videos, just like millions of other kids. But for 4 straight years, his channel flatlined. We're talking 50 views on a good day, and the only comments were probably from his mom. Bless her heart. Most people would have quit, right? Thrown in the towel, moved on to something less soul-crushing. But not Jimmy. He treated YouTube like a Rubik's Cube he absolutely refused to put down. He saw it as a puzzle, a complex system waiting to be solved. He wasn't just making videos. He was dissecting the platform. He studied click-through rates with the intensity of a stockbroker poring over candlestick charts, searching for hidden patterns, micro-trends, anything that would give him an edge. He'd re-edit thumbnails until the pixels practically bled, tirelessly tweaking every tiny detail to grab just one more click. And retention graphs? Forget counting sheep. Jimmy was counting seconds, obsessing over where viewers dropped off, trying to understand the psychology of engagement. It was a grind, a lonely, obsessive quest for understanding, but it laid the groundwork for everything that came next. Then came a tiny, almost imperceptible win. He hit 7,000 subscribers, a number that probably felt monumental at the time, yet still barely registered in the grand scheme of YouTube. In a moment of pure, unadulterated curiosity, he gave his last $20 to a Fortnite teammate. Why, just to see. Just to test a hypothesis. Could kindness, genuine human connection, actually be content? The video unexpectedly doubled his usual views overnight. But more importantly, it burned a new foundational rule into his brain. If the audience feels good, the algorithm feels good. That $20 wasn't charity in the traditional sense. It was pure, unadulterated R&D. It was the first brick in a colossal empire built on good vibes and viral moments. Fast forward to January 2017. Jimmy had finally hit 30,000 subscribers, a respectable number, but he was still living on ramen noodles, literally scraping by. His personal finances were tighter than a drum. So when he decided to hand a random homeless man $1,000, it wasn't some casual gesture. He did it with trembling hands, because that $1,000 represented half his entire life savings. Half. Can you imagine that leap of faith? He uploaded the footage, probably held his breath, closed his laptop, and honestly, he expected the worst. Maybe a few thousand views, a handful of comments, and then back to the grind. 10 hours later, he opened his laptop again, and the view counter didn't just tick. It exploded. 1.2 million views. Overnight. The comments weren't just positive. They were pleading, "More of this, please. This is amazing." It was a watershed moment. The ad revenue from that single, nerve-wracking clip didn't just cover his initial investment, it paid for the next giveaway, which then paid for the next one. A self-sustaining flywheel had begun to spin, slowly at first, then faster and faster. Jimmy didn't fully understand it yet, this strange, benevolent engine, but he trusted it like gravity. It was a force he could feel, a tangible connection between giving and receiving. The takeaway wasn't just give money. That's too simplistic. The real revelation was make the viewer the hero. It was a profound shift in perspective. Instead of, look how crazy I am for doing this, it became, look how powerful you can feel watching kindness unfold. That simple, Yet revolutionary idea became the absolute spine of every single video that followed. It wasn't about him. It was about the collective emotional experience, the shared joy, the vicarious generosity that resonated deeply with millions. By October 2019, Jimmy wasn't just a YouTuber. He was a phenomenon, boasting an incredible 25 million subscribers. But with that kind of scale came a new problem, a glorious problem, but a problem nonetheless. How do you keep pushing the boundaries of generosity when you're still primarily funding everything out of your own pocket? Giving away his own money, even with significant ad revenue, had limits. But giving away the internet's money, that he realized had none. So he teamed up with former NASA engineer Mark Rober, another YouTube titan known for his incredible science experiments. Together, they pitched the world a deceptively simple yet utterly brilliant idea. A meme, a challenge, a movement. Raise $20 million, plant 20 million trees. It wasn't just a fundraiser. It was a call to action, a collective mission. They soft-launched it with a short, punchy 20-second teaser, and then they watched. They watched as Reddit, the digital town square, turned the idea into an overnight religion. Within 48 hours, they'd cleared $5 million. $5 million! And within a staggering 2 months, they hit the full $20 million goal, planting 20 million trees across the globe. Team Trees didn't just reforest acreage, it reforested trust. It showed the world what was possible when a massive online community rallied behind a tangible, positive cause. Viewers realized that subscribing wasn't just passive entertainment anymore. It was a vote for measurable impact, a way to be part of something genuinely good. Jimmy's main channel wasn't just a beneficiary of this goodwill. It actively grew, adding 8 million subscribers during the campaign alone. But the bigger win, the truly profound victory, was psychological. He'd weaponized goodwill at a planetary scale, proving that online influence could translate into real-world change. Just 2 years later, Jimmy proved that Team Trees wasn't just some lucky lightning strike, a one-off viral anomaly. No, it was a blueprint, a repeatable model for massive crowd-funded philanthropy. Enter Team C's. This time, the target was even more ambitious, and arguably a lot less warm and fuzzy. They aimed to remove 30 million pounds of trash from oceans, rivers, and beaches. And let's be honest, nobody gets the same immediate emotional gratification from cleaning up garbage as they do from planting a tree. It's a harder sell. So Jimmy, ever the strategist, front-loaded the pain. He made the difficult, often unpleasant reality of ocean pollution the centerpiece. He live-streamed himself, in a full hazmat suit, picking up medical waste from polluted waterways, turning the sheer grossness into a kind of morbid yet compelling game. He promised every single dollar donated would remove 1 pound of plastic. The timing was impeccable, too. The campaign dropped during COP26, the global climate summit, riding the crest of the eco-news wave. It smashed its goal in just 35 days, proving the model was robust, scalable, and deeply resonant. Another 12 million subscribers flowed into his channel, a testament to the continued power of this philanthropic engine. And the media? The very outlets that once mocked YouTube giveaways now credited him for influencing marine policy change. Think about that for a second. Translation: philanthropy hadn't just become a side hustle or a stunt. It had evolved into his entire content genre, a fundamental pillar of his brand, not just a gimmick. Recognizing the immense potential and the need for a dedicated vehicle, Jimmy spun off a separate, entirely focused channel, Beast Philanthropy. This wasn't just a new channel. It was a commitment. He promised that 100% of the ad revenue and merch sales from this channel would go directly to charity. No cuts, no overheads, just pure, unadulterated giving. It was a bold move, a transparent pledge that immediately set it apart. The first upload to Beast Philanthropy wasn't some small gesture. It was a massive undertaking, feeding 1,000 families for Thanksgiving. Then came an even more poignant video, paying for cataract surgeries for 1,000 Americans, people who then saw their loved ones clearly for the first time in decades. Can you imagine that moment? The sheer overwhelming emotion? Reaction compilations of these videos absolutely exploded on TikTok, turning a 9-minute YouTube upload into a global tear fest. People were crying, laughing, and sharing stories of their own. Within just 6 months, Beast Philanthropy hit 10 million subscribers, faster than any nonprofit account in history. It wasn't just a success. It was a phenomenon, proving the insatiable appetite for authentic, impactful kindness. And the main channel halo effect? Another 21 million subscribers for MrBeast himself. The lesson here is crystal clear. When you truly industrialize kindness, when you make it efficient, transparent, and impactful, the algorithm and the human conscience sync perfectly. They become one. By July 2022, the countdown was on. Jimmy stood at an astounding 98.7 million subscribers, teetering on the edge of an unprecedented milestone. Most creators would throw a party, maybe a retrospective. But Jimmy? He bankrolled a single epic video that combined every single lesson he'd learned over a decade of grinding. The premise was classic MrBeast. He gifted a private island to whoever could survive on it the longest. It felt like the ultimate stunt, the kind of grand spectacle only he could pull off. But the framing, the underlying message, screamed philanthropy. The winner kept the island, yes, but Jimmy also donated an equal amount to ocean conservation. It was a brilliant dual-purpose act, extreme entertainment fused with undeniable social impact. The video dropped at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, a carefully planned release. By midnight, just 15 hours later, he'd officially crossed the 100 million subscriber line, adding a staggering 1.3 million new subscribers in just 24 hours. A record, naturally, only outpaced by himself. The comment sections weren't just spamming congrats, though there was plenty of that. The overwhelming sentiment, the true pulse of his community, was, "I've never felt this proud to be part of a channel." That sentence, that raw emotional connection, isn't just a nice comment. It's the real algorithm hack. It's the proof that he hadn't just built a channel. He'd built a community, a movement, a shared sense of purpose that transcended mere entertainment. If you're sitting there piecing together how Jimmy weaponized generosity for this insane growth, then you absolutely need to hit that subscribe button right now. You might think hitting 100 million subscribers would be the peak, the moment to plateau and just enjoy the ride. But Jimmy doesn't plateau. He verticalizes. He expands, diversifies, and integrates. His Feastable snack bars aren't just candy. They're a direct funding mechanism for even bigger, more ambitious videos. His MrBeast burger franchises aren't just fast food. They're fueling even more extravagant giveaways. And get this. His new financial app pilot, MrBeast Financial, is designed to let fans round up their everyday purchases, with the spare change automatically funneling into a charity pot. Think about that for a second. Every candy bar you buy, every burger you eat, every transaction you make through his app could end up building a water well in Kenya, funding a school, or saving an animal. The loop is now so airtight, so ingeniously designed, that content, commerce, and cause are no longer separate entities. They're the same molecule, inextricably linked. Analysts aren't predicting his next milestone will be 200 million subscribers. They're looking further, anticipating a billion-dollar endowment, a self-sustaining philanthropic engine funded by millions of viewers who might never even realize they're donors. It's a genius-level integration of capitalism and altruism. So no, MrBeast didn't just buy 100 million subscribers. That's far too simplistic, too cynical. What he did was far more profound, far more impactful. He bought 7,000 people a house. He helped plant 50 million trees. He funded the cleanup of 30 million pounds of ocean plastic. He gave 1,000 blind people their eyesight back, letting them see their loved ones for the first time in decades. And then, only then, he let the internet pay him back. Not in money, but in the most valuable currency online: attention. The receipts are public, the analytics are open, and the blueprint, the very methodology, is free for anyone to study. Your move, creator. What's your first $20 giveaway going to be? What act of kindness, big or small, are you going to put out into the world? Drop your wildest idea in the comments below. Because if Jimmy Donaldson taught us anything, It's that kindness doesn't just scale. It scales faster than capital, faster than virality, faster than anything else on the internet. It's the ultimate accelerator.